Chapter 519 was a disaster, to say the very least. Both the chapter itself and the community's response to it. However, the whole thing surrounding Eileen and Urza, for the most part, I do believe is in the past. And from this point on, we'll be moving into bigger and better things within the story of Fairy Tail, starting off with chapter 520. Now, the title for this chapter, unlike chapters in the past in regards to Fairy Tail, is very much a straightforward title, Dragon or Demon. Let's be honest, Hiro Mashima is almost making it too obvious that this chapter, for the most part, will be centered around the main male protagonist of Fairy Tail, the lovable pyromaniac himself, Natsu Dragneel. It may be very obvious that this chapter is to be centered around Natsu for the most part. However, when we question for what reason, that's really where our amount of information is lacking. For the most part, we can assume this chapter will have a lot to do with the dragon and demon seeds, along with E.N.D as well. So with all that in mind, today I actually want to share my predictions for Fairy Tail chapter 520 and essentially talk about what could actually possibly happen within the chapter. From what I gather, the general consensus within the Fairy Tail community, for starters, is that Natsu will actually have to make a choice when it does come down to it, that he will have to choose between the dragon or the demon seed, essentially choosing the power of E.N.D or the power of a dragon slayer in the grand scheme of things. Now, in my personal opinion, this is really not a likely scenario for this chapter, so I don't want to focus in it at all within this prediction video. However, what I did come up with as a prediction for this chapter is, well, having to do with the chapter name itself, and that being somewhat of a metaphor representing Natsu and E.N.D as two different identities separate from one another. Dragon would represent Natsu in this case, while Demon would represent E.N.D. And essentially within this chapter, there could be, I guess, like a dilemma surrounding which one truly represents Natsu, or there could even be like a mind battle that takes place between E.N.D and Natsu, a mind battle that could even play out within the dreamlike state that we've seen Natsu in ever since chapter 510. Hiro Mashima could do so much with this if he were to take this avenue. He could literally play out a fight between Natsu and E.N.D within the dreamlike state, and in reality, outside of this dreamlike fight, this fight could overall be for control over Natsu. But nevertheless, that's going to wrap it up for my prediction in regards to chapter 520 of Fairy Tail, that being Dragon or Demon. If you guys enjoyed, remember to leave a like on this video, subscribe for some more Fairy Tail content, and peace.